gatekeepers and originality in hip hop, and I mean, honestly, music in general, have been gone. People doing something for the first time has left music, and it's because of the way that like everybody can commentate and speculate. Fuck all that. And we're just gonna do what feels right and not worry about that. And whatever flag comes after is cool. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to take it there? To not give a fuck. To care so much that you don't give a fuck. You know? That's what this is. When was the last time?
Too much. It's like I live 2 times. How many times you get to live a new life? It must be because a nigga too nice. And we about to get too high. The devil in. This shit is heaven sent. And if we ever sin, we repent. I'm making a better plan, becoming a better man. Cause first time I died, nobody gave a damn. I'm taking everything they said I can't. Rebirth of a good, and I've been an ant. In my past life, had a sacrifice. Watch with mad eyes, green eyes till I realize I decide my fate. I'ma take my place. Can't remember the last time that I felt this way. Pop something, smoke something, get lit. When's the last time you heard it like this? Pop something, smoke something, get lit. When's the last time you heard it like this?
Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? It's me, Daz Exotic, and we're here with another episode of Let's Vibe TV. And you know, tonight, just like any other night, the vibes are high. We have a very, very, very special guest. What up? Oh, shit. The mother, he is I and I is him. But nah, this ain't about me. Y'all. What up? We got Q in the building. Shout out to him going on tour with Mr. Mark Battles coming up pretty soon. I'm going to be stopping through and seeing him in the A. What up, Mr. Munoz? J Life is in the motherfucking building. We are in here. We about to turn the fuck up. We got an extra special episode today, every day of Let's Vibe TV. And with no further ado, I'd like to introduce the visionary, the producer, the internet personality, Mr. Wyshmaster is in the motherfucking building.
What's going on, everybody?
What up? Oh, yeah. They ready. The vibes is high. Wyshmaster, their wish is granted today. You're granting wishes today.
Yeah, and you didn't call me wyshmaster like some people do.
Ooh.
Because of the spelling.
Yeah, but that's common sense, dog. I gotta say, common sense is not common nowadays.
Yeah, man. I saw in your intro using that chaotic eyeball. That thing's dope, isn't it?
Oh, bro. I was with Binks.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like it. Yeah.
You do. I mean, it's like a couple $100, right? And it like totally takes all the noise out of the room. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, like the audio of the album, it being recorded on that mic, bro. It just shows how much, like, really caring about how something sounds, and like being on a never-ending journey to improve what you're doing, what it can make. Because it's not. People always ask what they should buy, and not how they should think.
That's true. Yeah, because everybody always, Also, that's a loaded question. If someone say, "What's the best microphone to buy?" It's like, well, it depends on what you're recording. Are you doing singing? Are you doing rapping? Is it, what type of? You have a low voice? You have a high voice? So I always recommend people. I said, if you want to find the best microphone for you, walk into a Guitar Center and make that mofo play. Bring out every mic on you, and then you see what you sound the best on, and that's the best mic for you.
They in here saying you email them 5 times a day with a new beat pack.
Yeah. No, I don't.
That's
5 times a day. I don't know about that. That'd be a little too much. But
they be the chat be, you know how chats be
yeah.
nowadays. But that's Trippy Wild. Shout out Trippy Wild. He'll be here Sunday for game night. We like to play games here on this show. And speaking of which, we like to kick off the show with a very special game, right?
Mhm.
It gives you hard choices and you have to pick between the two, right?
Okay.
So, and we make it correlated to who we have on. So, the first this or that question that I'm asking is Swiss Beats or Timberland?
Oh, all day I'm gonna say Timberland. That's like my biggest influence in the world. But don't get me wrong, Swiss Beats is definitely an influence as well. But Timberland is, yeah, that's my number one, dude. So that's an easy
Really?
answer.
That okay? So he's at the top of the. Well,
Yeah,
here.
actually, when I started making beats over 20 years ago, that was like pretty much who I copied. Like I was like, all right, I love Timberland. I was a DJ, so I always played like Timberland's hits, and I love that bounce. I loved how big his drum sounded. So like people actually thought that I sounded exactly like Timberland. And then it was Dre, then I sounded just like Dre, and you know what I mean. So when I first started, before I could find my own sound, that was my sound. It was Timberland and Dre and Swiss and all those guys. So that's
I see.
big time.
Well, and so how did you find your own sound?
I think by just kind of dissecting a lot of how production was going and doing different genres, and I think that's when I actually found my sound. Is like I loved hip hop since day one, like huge 3 6 Mafia fan. I was like, I love those type of beats, and then I started dabbing in different genres, and I'm like, why can't I just bring the hip hop influence into like whatever country, rock, R&B, whatever it is, and then I started like it was almost I got that from Timbaland, the weird sounds. I like putting like little weird sounds from, and just to throw into the beat and stuff. He's the only person I know that could put a crying baby inside of a beat and you not annoyed by it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or crickets. You know what I'm saying? Like Missy Elliott, that would I Can't Stop the Rain. Like it's crickets going the whole time. Like usually you'd be like, man, that's annoying, but he found a way to make it work. So.
Well, you'd almost think that those records weren't as fire if there was that.
Right, exactly.
On Are You That Somebody? There's something about what it added to the tone of that. I mean, for me too. Like I lived in Virginia when Welcome to Our World dropped. I was in Newport News, Virginia when Welcome to Our World dropped, and that shit blew my mind with it. Even when they sampled Spider-Man for the Basement soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
Here come Missy and Timberland. Okay. I mean, damn. So it's crazy because we'll get into it. We'll keep it going. Jay Dilla or Kanye?
Ooh.
I gotta
go Kanye. I'm from Chicago, man. I gotta go Kanye.
Oh shit, you're from Chicago?
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago. Yep.
Shout out to Shy. I was born in the Shy too. My mom went to Loyola out there. She was a med school student when I was born. So
dope. I've lived everywhere, man. I've lived in LA, St. Louis, now I'm in Nashville. So yeah, music carries you to so many different places,
I'm in the A right now. Yo, that's great. Well, because music really, even for like, I'm not the, anything too special, but the journey that it's taken me on, and it gets so understated, and I think it gets neglected because of the internet as well.
Yeah.
But I just try to combine both. I want to take it to you on the internet and then bring that same energy to you, cuz just like what you said, I can never, and even my saying is magical music moments happening everywhere.
Right.
So I always believe
now the internet is, I always say it's like a gift and a curse, right? It's a gift because it allowed everyone to be able to get their music out there and any record label on that, but it's also a curse because there's so much a lot of trash music that comes out, or people that don't care about it, and then it makes it hard for people to actually give a shit and do this every day and to really have that talent. You know what I mean? So I would say it's like a gift and a but it's a gift for me because I'm a music producer, slash beat maker. So I could literally sit in my basement and and run a business from a computer. You know what I mean? You too, you know what you're doing.
And get it to the world. Yeah, no,
Exactly.
even like, yeah, like if you use it, I think it's the people, not the internet. It's all
Right,
about
exactly. It's the
how
people.
you,
Sure.
yeah, how you use it. DJ Premier or DJ Quick?
Premiere. Yeah.
Them scratches.
Boom bap beats, man. Yeah, definitely. But
Do you
both
feel
though, yeah, I like DJ Quick too, man. So but yeah, if you had to pick one or the other, right?
for sure? Do you? I mean, do you get to make? Well, I guess because you make so many packs of beats,
Mhm.
you get to. Do you feel like you get to make the kind of beats that you want to?
Yeah, that's all I do. I don't like when I sit down and make a beat. I'm not catering towards. I mean, I'm catering, of course, towards certain sounds, but I'm not. I do. I like. I call myself like a schizophrenic because I will sit down and make like a Katy Perry beat and then turn around and make like a 3/6 dark beat or a Tech Nine type beat right afterwards, and I'm just making whatever I'm feeling at the moment. So what I do is I take those beats, but I put them in a pack, and anybody who knows who buys packs off me, you're not going to get one sound. You're going to get like some Afro beat, reggae tone, then some trap mixed with some premier hip hop. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Well,
man. Yeah, but I mean, yeah. As far as like the past, yeah, of course, I cater to sound of like what people like, but I make it my own. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, and even your catalog of hits is a variety, and
right,
even
right, yeah,
nobody would assume what you would have made after On the Boat, because that's a commercial ass
yeah.
beat.
Funny, yeah,
That's a main, like, future type, like,
yeah.
it's like such that time period
That was a
of a
throwaway
beat.
beat too, by the way.
We're,
Yeah,
we're gonna get it. We're gonna, yo, we got a lot to unpack.
yeah,
So many people want to interview, but they don't really have layers to their story, and
yeah.
that's the main.
I've been through it all. I've been the good and the bad. That's why I tell my story to everybody. I was like, I'm not going to tell you it's all great. There's going to be all kinds of horror stories in there.
A lot of people don't like highlighting the backdrop, and honestly, I feel like a lot of people think it's detrimental to their career to talk about what went bad for them.
Yeah, I don't see why, because that's what made us. I mean, that's what Of course, it's all of us. Yeah,
Literally.
I mean, that's you have to go through that. I feel like because if I know people that just went straight into the business, made a ton of money, and now they don't have any more money or have anything going on musically. You know what I mean? Because they went so fast, they didn't have that horror story, that bad experience for them, so they thought it was just all easy, and then they didn't have a business state of mind, so they lost it all. So
I think it comes down to people wanting to limit information, because it's
yeah.
easier for them and harder for everybody else. If how much work was put in. Also, people take what the fuck they want to take out of anything, and it's
All
the
right.
most annoying thing, I think, in the world. It's like, yo, did you hear everything else that was said? And it's
No,
like,
people hear what they want. Selective hearing, man.
for sure. And so to get back to the game, what do you think about lease or buying a beat?
I think it's beneficial either way. I think leasing beat is great because you don't have to have a huge budget. You can use a lot of beats or get a beats from like a producer that might have done a lot of records or whatever. Even people that are just talented in general, and you're paying $25, $30 to get to use on your album, and you get to push as many records as you want to for however that lease goes for. You know what I mean? Like that's a win-win situation because some people hit me up. They're like, "Well, what about other artists?" I said, "Well, it's not about what other artists do to that beat. It's about what you do to shine and to take advantage of the fact that you didn't have to put all your budget into those beats. Now you can put your budget into promoting and marketing, and that's what I
Well,
see a lot of artists lack is marketing.
yeah, that's the number one thing they don't do. There is an
No,
overabundance of talent, great ideas, just not marketed right. They have a hard time explaining themselves. What's
exactly.
up? What's up? We got who else in the building? Thank you, Jay Life. just tagging away. My boy going hard. I go hard in the motherfucking paint. That's what we. Yo, we don't ask for no donations. I don't. Yo, the game is so fucked up. I don't want no sponsors. I don't want no donations. I want to give people products and set an example of how it's supposed to be done. It's funny because what I also am taking away, and want to get into a little bit for a second is your perspective in having gone through so many things musically is how you're able to sell or make happy. We're not even going to use the word sell.
No.
In an audience, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, such as the people watching, who is a variety of rappers who you've touched and impacted with your production. My boy Omar said he's got 200 of your beats.
Wow, appreciate it, Omar. Damn. I hope you're using them.
Bro, he's a freestyle messiah. And to you, like, you have like 30 placements with Tech Nine.
Yeah, with Strange Music about 70 something, but yeah, probably yeah.
I was being a little bit more, but and that's been, but that range, okay.
Yeah, I've been working with Strange ones.
The range of success that you've worked with for a very long time, you know, how do you make them all happy? What advice can you give to producers? And to not get fucked, because they'll throw a lot of things your way. Like, how do you manage dealing with back end and that? What is your
Well, it's the first thing I'm gonna say is, as a producer, you should learn how the music business works. You know, there's all kinds of good books, like all about the music business. What's the other one called? It's Confessions of a Music Producer. These break down what you're supposed to get. Now and I'm not gonna tell you, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna give you the dark side. It's not always gonna be exact though. So, that's what I tell, like, if you're a new producer, let's say you come in a game and let's say a Justin Bieber, someone huge comes along, and then you guys make a record together. So technically it's supposed to be 50-50. It's 50% publishing, 50% to the writer of the lyrics, and 50% to the beat. But what happens if Justin Bieber's management hits you up and says, well, Justin's going to kind of put you on, so you might have to take a little hit on this publishing. He's going to want 55 and give you 45, or he's going to want 60 and you're going to end up with 40. Are you going to?
You say producers should get 50%?
No, that's not should get. Yeah, that's technical. Yeah, it's 50%. It's made up of two things: lyrics and music. So that's how it is. That's how you.
Yo, producers look at me crazy.
The writers.
When I give my producers 50%, they look at me crazy.
Yeah, and it's not. It doesn't mean 50% of every single sale. That just means that's just a split of like the publishing and the writer's side. When it comes down to royalties, it's not like you sell a record and you're going to give them 50% of all your money. That's not how that breaks down. And that's why I have to explain to people. Artists think that, I have to give you 50% of everything. No, it's not 50% of every single sale that comes in. It's breaking down. Like, that's just when you're registering a BMI or ASCAP and things of that nature. So that's that. I recommend people do your research and find out what you're supposed to get. Don't sign anything without an entertainment lawyer. Especially if you're getting a big deal. Why would you even want to go in there and just sign something? And learn to be, sometimes you have to negotiate. Don't just be an asshole and just say, no, I'm not doing that shit. Then you just messed up a Justin Bieber placement because you want to say, oh, well, I'm supposed to get 50. Well, yeah, you technically are supposed to, but you're going to mess that up and for an opportunity that could have made your whole career. You know what I mean? That's kind of advice I'd give in that situation.
Well, that's a great segue to talk about. If you were to talk about a placement that made your career, you produced I'm on a Boat for Saturday Night Live, which is was that a commercial license, or did that go the way that
you do it? Exclusive. That's just like it's when you're selling a beat to a record label for an artist.
So they already had a plan of the Lonely Island Boys being
releasing
the song.
Yeah, I was actually, it's a funny story. I was actually at Nelly's studio working with him, and somebody from Universal came by to St. Louis and was looking at a rapper out of East St. Louis that they're interested in. and hit up Nelly's studio and asked, "Hey, do you know any producers that got any beats? You know, I'm working with this rapper." And he's like, "Yeah, my guy Wish, who I was doing everything with Nelly at that time, like all his shit."
You were working on Brass Knuckles
Yeah,
with
I was
him.
working on Brass Knuckles in a lot. Yeah, I was actually working on probably the ass end of the album before that. I think it was like Sweatsuit, but yeah, I didn't get in time. But anyway, so my first instinct was like, all right, this is gonna be on some mixtape shit. I'm not just gonna, I don't know this dude who's looking for these beats, and anybody could say that from Universal, right? Um, and chances are that these beats are gonna end up on a mixtape or something. But I'm like, but I'm not gonna mess up an opportunity, right? So I put some throwaway beats together, which I think were throwaway. Just producers have too. They have their throwaways that they're like, oh, these are kind of cool, and then you got your beats. They're like, yeah, these are my fire beats. And this is back then.
You gave SNL the throwaway pack.
So these beats were like not even my favorite. And then I never heard from them. So I'm like, all right, go figure. Of course, that's what was gonna happen. That these beats are out there and God knows where. And then I get a call from them probably like 3-4 months from I think that dude or another A&R, and he said, "Hey, we got this group called Lonely Island. They want to make a song, and it's something about a boat." I just thought it was a job. I'm like, all right, cool, man. Like, how much do you want for the beat? I think at the time I'm like, just give me $5,000. I was getting like 10 grand at the time, but I was just like, you know what, make a quick sale. It's probably nothing, right? And then time went by, nothing happened. I'm like, all right, I make a nice little 5K off the, for advance. And then my brother hit me up and he's like, dude, did you say you did a song with I remember you said a long time ago, Lonely Island called I'm a Boat, or it's called Boat something. I said, yeah, something like that. He's like,
you heard it before it came out?
No, I didn't. It was just from what the guy said. Yeah, dude, the first time I heard it was on SNL. So basically, yeah. So my brother's like, it's on Saturday Night Live right now, and T-Pain's on it. I'm like, are you? My face went red. I'm like, are you? I didn't even do the paperwork yet.
Right.
So I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, what's going on here? Like, this is crazy. So I called my entertainment lawyer, and then we worked it out. But this, oh my God, it was crazy. That's the first time I heard it was my brother calling me saying, hey, it's on Saturday Night Live right now. So
I mean, did you jump up and down?
I was like, yeah, because I'm like, that's huge. You know what I mean? I'm like, this is a major thing, right? And I know those.
Yeah,
I didn't know who those guys were.
Guessed about the cultural impact that it had.
And I didn't know who Lonely Island was. So I didn't. And I'm like, oh, those are the guys that did like Dick in the Box and all these other huge,
Okay, so they had those songs first. Okay.
Yeah, cool. Jizz in My Pants, I think was another thing they did. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but anyway, so yeah, that's how it happened, and then we had to negotiate all the percentages and everything. And that was
so they were willing. Oh, I bet. I mean, how did that go?
It was basically my lawyer, would call their lawyer and said, "Hey, we got to work the percentages out," and they're like, "Yeah, okay." And then they and he's like, "So T-Pain took 10%." He's like, "I just want 10. I'm out." He was cool. He's like, "All right, I did my part of the song." So that leaves 90%, right? So my lawyer goes, "Well, 50% goes to Wish, and then there's 2 other Lonely Island guys on the song, so they get 20-20. That's how a typical song breaks down."
Right.
Well, they said, these guys are comedians. They weren't like typically from the music business. So they said, no, right, we're gonna all split it equally, and we're gonna give a split to the other guy who's not even on the song, who's one of the
who's just a part of the group. Right.
Which is that's not how it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my lawyer's like, no, dude, like that's not like why. We're not gonna give a split to the guy who's he hasn't wrote on the song or anything.
I gotta apologize for all the hate that I've put on I'm on a Boat. There was like I'm like
my bank account's not mad at you.
Yeah. Well, it was just like I was upset at like, yo, this is what y'all want for music? Like, y'all love this?
It was actually I think it was kind of more making fun of like what people were doing in music at the time, I think too. They were just showing off.
No, but the people's reaction, like that shit still gets played in clubs in my hometown.
Well, I know Miami's like, it's like one of their main songs, like when people take out their boats and stuff. Yeah.
Bro, that shit goes.
Hey man, I'm not mad. It doesn't matter.
You've melted down dance floors. I had to give in to the song and be like, all right, white girl, here we go.
You should see how annoying it is every time I walk into a club and people say that I did that song. Like they have to play it. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh man, here we go.
So do you do you like the song?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Because I create music, I can't listen to my same music over and over again. I just get, even when I make a beat, if I listen to it too much, it's like I gotta stop. It's almost like when you hear things on the radio too much, you just like have to step away from it. So yeah, of course I like it. I mean, I'll listen to it when somebody plays it, but it's not like, oh, like I love all these songs still. You know what I mean? Like, well, now if I step back from it and maybe a year from now and then I hear it again, I'm like, oh, okay, that's dope. But yeah, I
Get
remember that
the
was a throwaway
vibes,
beat.
yeah.
They turned into a dope song, but it was a throwaway beat. You know what I mean?
For
So that's
yeah.
what's cool. But that's what I like about it, because even though it was a throwaway to me, it turned out to be a gem to them. So sometimes things, music we don't like, other people do, and that's why I tell artists and even producers, don't be scared to take a chance, because something you might not like or think is good enough, someone might kill and turn into a hit. You never know that. You never know what's going to happen. So there's a beat for every artist.
What's your favorite song that you've produced?
Oh man, that's a tough one, dude. There's one that I did that I felt like it was way ahead of its time. It's called "Rain" by Jeremy Green featuring Pitbull. That was probably one of my favorite beats, because it had such a futuristic sound. It was almost like too ahead of the game, like where people were like, "Damn, this is crazy! Like, I don't know if we're ready for this yet." And he was signed to MySpace Records, so they were very new to the music business. So they didn't really push it like
the
like
way
a
they
would. They should have. Yeah.
That is so crazy, because to think about, like, anybody who makes a social media platform like on that scale, like what Facebook did versus MySpace, I don't know. It's weird because their visions were very grand in two separate ways. And Tom wasn't over ambitious. He was something else. But
yeah, he posted it. That's about it. Which it did, that's good. But it's like you got to go beyond that. You got to get radio spins. You got to like put this in people's ears.
Right.
So that's been one of my. There's a lot of songs like with Tech that I love. Tech is one of my favorite artists I've worked with, just because he's super freaking talented. I mean, the way he puts like syllables and lyrics together, it's just crazy to see him in the studio. So there's a bunch in there too.
Does he write in the studio?
Yeah, as he's going sometimes.
What? Get out!
Sometimes he'll do the syllables first, like, and then he'll put the lyrics to them. Yeah, it's crazy.
For sure. And especially like good syncopation with a fire beat just does something.
Yeah.
So, I wish I was a fan of like technique more than I was just like a good song, like in feeling. Because I'd be able to respect it a lot more. But like, yeah, I mean, they're all dope, from Chris Calico and his singing and rapping and all that. We got our issues, but but very talented people for sure. There was a great question posed by the audience. How'd you get your name? Well, wait, before you answer that, I'm gonna do the final this or that question.
Okay.
And we'll start cracking into some eggs. Look, Callie hated on me first. I'm only an energy receptacle. I give what I am giving, people. You know it.
I didn't even know you guys had anything going on like that. I gotta talk.
You never seen me get hit with the cake?
Oh, that was you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I thought you guys are cool. I didn't know it was like okay.
Look, I'm playing a role right. It's for TV.
Okay.
That's my boy. Okay.
Yeah,
I gotta keep the energy the same, dog. Yeah. Well, we got VA Verse in the motherfucking building. They're in here just commenting. I love y'all in the chat. Share. Flame up. Pull your drink up. Get your snacks. Get your bag of chips. Whatever the fuck you need. And vibe out with us. It's always a different vibe. I love picking people's minds. Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac.
Easily.
I grew up on both East Coast and West Coast, but I was more just attracted to the West Coast sound. Being from the Midwest too, like that kind of had more influence on the West, as far as I listened to like Twister, Do or Die, Bone Thugs. But definitely, West Coast is I listen to some rappers people don't even know. I'm like, you remember Lil Half Dead? Like, I don't know who the hell that is.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'd be like, remember Crucial Conflict?
Yeah, Crucial Conflict. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I bring that up. People don't know, but people in St. Louis knew it because it was so close to Chicago. So when I said Crucial Conflict, yeah, that played here, you know. So, but yeah, definitely Tupac, man.
Twisted?
I
Yo,
like
they be
no Twister with an A.
I know that they're making a joke. Yeah, they're making a joke about like them pretending that they don't know the artist.
I get it. I get it.
So that
Okay.
yeah.
There's
Shout out Voodoo Eyes. He's playing
Twister.
voodoo. He's playing voodoo tricks on my guests. And I don't like that shit.
All
No.
right, so yeah, I was gonna say I like Tupac because he's is all. I mean, not that big he didn't have stories, but Tupac had those stories, and he always had those huge hooks. And I'm a hook person. Like I love hooks. I can't wait to get to that hook. So
Oh damn. Come on, man. Anyway, we don't need none of that. How'd you get the name Wishmaster?
so basically, I couldn't come up with a name. My original name when I was a DJ was DJ Playboy. I had the Playboy earrings and all that. Yeah.
Yo,
But
what?
yeah, but I want to change it. I was like, this is kind of stupid. So I was like, I need to come up with something cooler. And then my boy was like, man, why don't you go by what's that horror movie you like? I'm like, which one? He's like, the one with the dude like grants wishes and shit. I'm like, oh, Wishmaster. So I'm like, yeah. I'm like, and at first I was like, I don't know, man, that's kind of cheesy, dude. And he's like, no, man, you got to look at like you grant wishes, like because anybody who comes in the studio with you and they want a certain beat, you come up with it right there. You're like, man, I need this. And you go harder. And he's like, that's how the movie was. You'd ask him for something, he'd give it to you, but he gave it to you times 100.
Times 10.
Yeah, times 10. So that's how I came up with the name, and it stuck. And of course, yeah, I was like, damn, this is kind of
Well,
cheesy.
you've
But then after a while, I was
lived
like, you know, it's kind of dope.
Yeah, and you've lived up to it too. You've lived up to it entirely.
Appreciate
Just
that.
like bro. I mean, look, I can't say anything that's not true, and there's not proof of the fruit of it from the people in the comment section to the credentials, to the vast array of music that you've been a part of, and that you have elevated to a whole different level. You know what I'm saying? And even the consistency of people using you, that's a prophecy fulfilled.
Well, a lot of people don't know I'm one of the originators of releasing beats online too. Like I'm one of the people that came up with that whole concept. So like I'm not only an industry guy. I'm also I come from the internet. That's how I started. The internet is what turned me into an industry guy because I started getting known from doing that. So I've been looking out for artists my whole life, giving them, hooking them up, making sure they don't have to spend their whole budget on projects and,
For sure. I was gonna say, so what do you mean when you say that you are the originator of leasing, of beat leasing?
Like beat leasing online came from somewhere, right?
Yes.
So it's me, and I'm not gonna take full credit. So I was number one. There's a few of us, and basically we used to sell beats on like MP3.com, SoundClick, those things.
Wow, the original.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it wasn't. But there wasn't leasing. It was more like you sold exclusives. I mean, it was so old school that someone hit you up, hey, I want this beat. You'd say, all right, send me this, or PayPal the mail, and you'd send them their beat in the mail on a CD, or a disc. And then times got tougher. This is the reason why I did it. But and I was like, people just couldn't afford to buy exclusives, and I was getting a point. I was getting maybe a few grand just from independent artists, which back then it was huge. And it started slowing down. Economy hit. People just couldn't afford it. So that's when I came up with the idea to like, why don't I just lease beats? And then that's when I just really blew up. And I mean, different countries, had fans everywhere. Started getting hit up. I mean, that's how I got my first placement on a video game, which was NBA Ballers, because they found me one of the biggest online producers. So.
And that was before Nelly.
Yeah, this is before Nelly. Yeah.
For sure. Oh,
even I did something on Ludacris's "Disturbing the Peace" album. That was before Nelly too.
Okay. What production credit did you get on the "Disturbing the Peace" album?
It was by Stat Quo and from Field Mob. It's called "Come See Me."
A lot of people be sleep on Stat Quo. Shout out Stat Quo. Yeah. So well then let's get. So you're originally from Chicago. Who introduced you to music? How'd you end up making beats? And that early, like well, you said Timbaland. You wanted to make beats like Timbaland, but
like hip hop. I love the hip hop. It was so I had a mix of music. My dad was more like the rock and roll guy. He had like a ton of records. He had like Rolling Stones, Beatles, Jimi Hendrix, and then my mom was more on the Whitney Houston's and Temptations, the Motown type music. So I got a good mixture of music where it's like rock, but then a mixture of the Motown. And then I started DJing because DJing is huge in Chicago. Like I did house music, rap music, but they did a mixture. It's called like ghetto house. It was like a mixture. Like they put Crucial Conflict songs with house beats and stuff. It was pretty dope. But I started doing that, and then I started. That's when I started. I mean, I always liked hip hop music.
That's some super Chicago shit.
Yeah.
That might be the most Chicago shit I've heard in years. Like more Chicago than Lil Durk and O Block. Like
yeah,
house
like
music and Crucial
DJ Funk,
Conflict.
all that stuff. Yeah. Yep. Even people are taking those old house records. They're making stuff out of them. Like all this like new stuff. Like Hoes in His House and all those songs, like they come from that era. Well, that was before my time, but still like around that era. And so I got the music from DJing.
I was expecting, because a lot of producers end up being rappers who couldn't get beats.
Yeah.
To how and you got a very like MC feel, kind of. Like it's very.
That was awful. Yeah, I tried to rap, and I did the fast rap. And back then in Chicago, it was more like we just made fun of each other. So you would just try to talk about the next person. You had to be smart off the top of the head. So I was good at that, but rapping was not for me.
How do you feel about acts like Chief Keef and stuff from Chicago? Because even you. It doesn't get the credit it deserves for the artistry of it. It sucks that they try to take the artistry out of it, but it's interesting that you mentioned playing the dozens, because that's what put Chicago on the map, and still has it flaming.
And they have their own drill sound too, which a lot of people give credit to UK and New York. I know, but Chicago has its own drill music, which I think is really dope, and with the dances to it and everything.
For sure, yeah. And so you right now are promoting an open verse challenge, and it's far beyond other promotions.
Yeah, nobody's ever done anything like this. Me and Chris did a competition last year, and it was an open verse thing, and it was really big. It was great. But we wanted to go harder this time. We wanted, what could we do that would be even bigger to help the artist community? And that's when we came up with the idea, or Chris actually did, and said, why don't I put them on my single, Hesitate? And I'm like, dude, you're gonna put someone you don't even know on your single? He's like, yeah. He's like, because the last competition was so dope. We found so many sick ass artists. He's like, I'd rather do that than just go find a feature. He's like, don't get me wrong, I can get a lot of he can get a lot of features, and I hear him talk to him all the time. But he's like, I want to do something new, and I want to do this is something we can do for the artist community. And I'm like, dude.
Well, and it's deeper than that. He says that he will fly them out.
Yeah.
And be in the studio.
Yeah, we're gonna fly the winner out. We're gonna fly the winner out to Kansas City. You're gonna get in a professional studio, do your verse. I'm gonna be there too. I'm flying in. I'm gonna help produce the record.
Really?
It's my beat too. So, and then
I'm obvious.
So I was like, man, I didn't want to just have him and be like, okay, we're gonna do this for this person, and I'm not gonna be there. I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be part of this, this VIP kind of thing we're doing right now. And then we're gonna put them in the video too. So they're gonna be featured in the video. VIP dinner with me, so all expense paid, flight.
And in the video, yes.
In the video, so.
And with Chris Calico, who is formally signed to Strange Music and Hit Me in the Face with the Cake, as a lot of y'all know, on his song with T-Pain. I need to figure out who produced that beat.
I'm not sure who did that one.
It wasn't you.
It might be Seven. Might be Seven. You guys know 7 is, right? That's like their
7 is.
I think it was him, if I'm not mistaken.
Do you feel any competition with 7 for placements? How did you?
Nah, I never feel competition. I never get jealousy like that. I'm happy for everybody. Of
course. How'd you get into play as like a main producer for a camp that had a producer like 7 in it?
Well, it's because yeah, because I got in there probably around 2008, 2009 is when I started playing beats, and then Tech really loved my production, and I had a sound he was going for. It was on the Killer album, and then I think ever since then it's just like I just like I said, Seven was all he was signed to them.
You
But
manifested it type shit?
I guess I mean yeah, I kind of built that sound, that Killer sound, or these fast records that he was doing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah,
And
from
how
there
did
it's
they
just
hit
like I
his
just took the
how did
production.
they hit his ear? Yeah, like
So we actually I was with this record label in St. Louis, Air production label, and then we met with Tech at I think it's called the Blue Note in Columbia. So we went there, and then he said, "Hey, I'm gonna check out some beats." We played some beats, and he was just like, "All right, dude." He's like, I want to work on some of this shit." So that's how it happened, and then I ended up doing 5 on that album,
5.
on the Killer
Um
album.
so how did you damn, which is his like one of what people would say is his classic with the Thriller cover and all
Well,
that.
and I wasn't a original fan of Tech Nine because everybody always I never heard him before because everybody said he's faster than Twister. Twista, there you go. And so so
Assholes.
yeah. So he basically I wouldn't listen to Tech Nine. I'm like, I judged him because I was like, he has red hair. I'm like, this, people were telling me this dude's a devil worshiper, all this shit, which I did not that body. It was more against the beef with it that everybody said yeah with Twister. I'm like, oh, I'm a Chicago person. I can't. And then when I finally heard his music, I'm like, this dude's dope, and I think he might even be a little faster, you know. So, I was like,
Ooh, shit.
and his show blew me out of the water. I mean, when I saw him on a show, I was like, dude, this dude is putting on like a show. Like I'm used to rappers like this. They sit there in the middle, they hold the microphone the wrong way. You could hear every little breath. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not a show. He put on a show. He came out in like this priest outfit and had all these weird things going on in the background, and he's rapping to a machine gun. I'm like, I've never seen anything like that before.
How do you what is a key that you can give to respecting an artist? Because like a lot of people are so one-dimensional, they could never wishmaster from producing for Nelly to being like, a catapult for
Yeah, but
like
yeah,
Tech Nine. Like,
that's what a
how do
producer
you
does though.
understand?
Yeah, that's a
So you're
producer.
saying a lot of producers don't be producing for
They're not. Yeah,
real?
they're not producing. A producer is someone who actually is in charge of of hearing the vision of that entire song or that artist and kind of knowing what you think direction they should go wise. And it's not everybody's fault. It's not like every beat maker can go out there and just jump into a studio with an artist. But I always tell them try to. If there's local artists that go find those local artists that are hot. Go work with them, like produce them. That's how you're gonna really is going to give you that sound or an artist brings you up. That's how that's how a lot of these producers came up because they're like, oh, the Neptunes did this and Timberland was my producer, and then everybody's like, well, I want that dude to produce for me. Not to say you can't just sell beats
But your
online and somebody
style
there.
is a little bit more like not trying to have to repeat yourself over, but really catering to the artist, it seems like.
Yeah,
Um,
keeping my own sound, my own bounce. That's what I call it. It's like Timberland says he got that bounce. I like to put a bounce to my records too.
so they can there's little ID notes that both a Nelly record you did and a Tech record will have that's like, oh, that shit is Wishmaster. What would you
It'll
say
have a
your
little bounce to it. You'll hear some some of the percussion will have this like almost I'm gonna say like almost this Timberland style to it. Even if you listen to it, I did 7 songs. I did half the album on Tech's last album you just dropped, and you're gonna hear I do a lot of that like kind of bouncy type drums to my beat. I put a lot of percussion in there. It's like like I said, I always got Timberland in it, man. Just I did so many damn Timberland beats growing up. It's like, I love that sound,
Yeah.
So
Well,
I got a
hey,
lot of influence from
bro,
it.
that East Coast Virginia style is
Well,
so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Neptune's up from that too.
underrated.
Oh, dude, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's I want more of it. So, and you had mentioned something earlier that I thought was a little bit interesting. You were like, "Man, I caught the late end of Sweatsuit and
Yeah.
didn't get on it." Were you disappointed with the results of Brass Knuckles? Like, how successful of an album was that?
I,
That's
yeah,
about when.
it went a gold. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's one of his most successful as a gold album. He was going through a tough time. You know, his sister died, and I mean, there's all kinds of shit going on that around
Damn.
that. But I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. I'm never disappointed. I mean, just to do the body of work that I was doing. But I did about 20 to 30 songs with them for that
Wow.
record. So I was like, yeah. So I ended up getting 2 or 3 on there. But there were some records that were just like crazy, like I mean, just pop, bouncy, that Nelly type thing. That didn't make the album, and actually, but it wasn't that direction they were going at the time. And like I said, there's a lot
Right.
of influence going on outside of his life, so you can't, you got to respect that, and I can't just jump in there. But hey, you need to do these type of records. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's interesting because it says something about Nelly's character because he's never made excuses. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And to have somebody else like, yo, he was going through a lot. Like,
Right.
that's
That's what
heavy.
people don't understand. Artists go through things in their lives, guys. It's not like I know some way we feel like, well, they owe us. We're their fans or whatever, but it's like they had
He
to.
was just so fire to
Yeah,
not get like he
yeah,
set such a high standard
right.
that I like for me as a consumer, I went into sweatsuit ready
Yeah.
like for a classic album and it was all right. And then I was like, let's see what he does for brass.
Mhm.
And the singles did not.
No, they didn't do as well as his usual records, right?
Yeah, no. And so that's interesting. Do you think we'll ever hear any of the other records? He seems to just be focused on
I
moving
don't. Yeah, I mean,
forward
I can't
at
make him.
all times. He
But
seems really focused on
I
making
think he's
new
doing a
shit.
lot of he's doing a lot of country stuff right now. I think, and that's why like when Flow Rider came out, I was like, man, Flow Rider's doing Nelly with Nelly, Nelly's
When
pop version of Nelly.
Nelly
You know
was
what I'm saying?
ahead of his
Yeah,
time entirely,
right.
even the whole feel of Brass Knuckles.
Even Apple Bottom Jeans was actually, that song Apple Bottom, that was actually made for Nelly, but Flow Rider got it.
That makes so
Yeah.
much sense.
Yeah, we were in there and he was
Oh
playing it, and
man.
I told him, I said, "Hey man, I heard that before." And he's like, "You heard this?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I heard this Flow Rider dude or something from Florida guy. He did something to this," and he's like, "And Nelly will not do a record. If somebody else had it, he'd be like, nope, I'm not." He likes to do. He wants to keep it all original, nothing, something like that. So
Wow.
yeah,
It's crazy because he doesn't get considered a real artist, but you're like showing a lot of his true colors and like the heart of an artist,
yeah, so,
so
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of artists, that out there that they don't get, the love that they should, and some okay, but it's also like, that's why artists is like it's a taste, right? I like this type of stuff. Well, I don't like that. I like this. That's our God-given right? We like certain artists, we like certain music. Some music we don't. I don't like when people go around calling people trash. I think that's like, it's like, who are you to call someone trash or saying this is trash? Maybe say I don't like it or something. Not to say like, I'm not telling you have to have like all these manners or anything, but
well,
I never liked that. I say, oh, that's trash. That beat's trash. That artist is trash. Like, dude, like, you know how hard that artist is trying to do something? You know what I mean? At least, hey, it's
right.
not my flavor. It's not my favorite. You know what I mean?
Well, and that's always been kind of my problem though with like I guess fandom of certain things. They feel like they got to like that
Yeah,
or like and hate this other thing,
true. That's true. Yeah, because influence too. Yeah.
like Tech Nine fans feel like they can't be Young Thug fans too, and it's
Right.
like, yo, I've been able to
But you know
experience,
what's funny?
like,
Yeah, secretly they're listening to that though. That's the thing. They'll just tell people
yes, and
that.
that's like, yo, let's bridge this gap of all of this confusion and like set like, bro, great music is great music, and I am inspired by all of it, and
Exactly.
there has to be more of
And
that
we all
too.
listen differently. Some people are just strictly lyrics. They don't care about delivery. They don't care about the beat. Some people are about the beat. Some people are the way that the lyrics bounce on the top of the beat. That's why I like so much music. I could find something in that song. I don't like everything, but I might hear a song and be like, yeah, what they're saying is not the best, but I like the way they're riding the beat. I like the way they're singing it. It's dope. It makes me move. I feel like you said, you like to feel music. That's how I do. I feel music because like when I'm out or going to the gym or whatever, I listen to like System of a Down and just shit that's like just makes my brain go to different places. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you can hear that influence. It seems like you get to play more with your rock and roll side with
Yeah, I do
artists.
some rock stuff. I even make country. I'm not a huge country listener, but I like I could find something I like about it, and I always throw my little hip hop in there. You know what I mean? Put a little hip hop influence into it. So,
Ah!
and I've been doing that forever. And now it's like the thing. You know what I mean? It's like country and rapper. Like that's the new norm, right?
How long will the competition be running for?
We're gonna run it till October 26th to midnight. So I just want to make sure enough people get in there. 'Cause like I said,
That's a whole
big one.
month.
Yeah, this is a big win. So I want to make sure everybody gets in there because some people are gonna hear about it late or they're not gonna do it right away. Um, and I'm new to the Instagram remix stuff, so I know some people are having like they couldn't get their microphone stuff to work. So I want to make sure everybody gets their their submissions in there. Um, yeah, because I was always used to the what is it called? What's the other platform that you can do the side to side?
TikTok.
TikTok. See, I was more used to that. So the remix thing is like newer. So yeah, we're trying to get that going, and yeah, so far so good. There's some actually really dope ones, man.
Well, and that's I'm sure already. It's also like thinking of it now because I was gonna be like, why IG and not TikTok? It's smart to capitalize off of a new thing added to the app, and open verses are oversaturated on
And I
TikTok.
never really,
Once John Legend does one,
yeah.
too many people.
And it's the thing is too, I didn't really take TikTok. I mean, I have a TikTok, but I haven't done anything on that. I want to eventually maybe do some like beat stuff where I'm just like creating and stuff, but Instagram is really my main platform. So I'm like, all right, let's just say that Chris has a big following there too. And like you said, it was something new. So I'm like, yeah, let's just keep it all here. Because once you start bouncing things
Right.
around, it's hard to keep track. We listen to every single one. That's what people understand. We don't have a team of people that are going to go and pick for us. Like me and Chris sit there and listen to every single submission, and then we pick whoever's going to be the winners of these things. You know what I mean? And we play them live every week. So like starting next week, we're going to play these live, and we're bringing in some guest celebrities to actually listen to some of these.
Listen with y'all.
And this is all free. That's what I'm saying. You have nothing to lose here. Like I tell any artist that finds this as a passion and wants to make it out there, take this opportunity and just go put your skills out there. Let maybe somebody that didn't hear you before is now going to be your follower and be like, this dude is dope or this girl's dope, you know?
Somebody said, can we get a rock beat pack? If you enter the competition, he might. No.
Yeah, I might do that. No, I have no problem doing genre specific beat packs. I just haven't done it yet because I don't know if I have I don't know my fan base if they're just for one genre. It's hard because I make so many different genres. It's hard to say, well, do more people like my trap? Do more people like my rap, hip hop, my boom bap, my pop, my whatever. So it's tough for me, but I can. I think eventually I'll probably just sit here for hours and just make separate beat packs. I'll do a rock one, a trap one, a drill one, or whatever, So
How do you keep your creativity? Like, how does it not come off mundane or repetitious to you? What do you do to still notice the flowers?
I love music, and that I always have. It's my therapy. I mean, no matter what I'm going through in my life, if I could sit down and make beats, like I'm always gonna feel better. It's always gonna take my mind off it, or it's whether I'm like in a bad mood or if I'm sad or even if I'm happy and I'm just trying to boost it up. When I make music, I sit here literally like I'm winning a championship because I'm like, man, this is so dope. Like, oh my god, I just killed it.
You've won a few though.
Right. And every time I think all of us as creators, every time we go in, we want to have a win every single time, right? And that's why I try to put everything into it. And don't get me wrong, the next day I might be like, damn, that was trash. Like shit, I won't say trash now that I said don't say it. But I'm like, this is kind of shitty for me, you know what I mean? I'm like, but that happens. But then that beat I might play for in a studio for an artist, and like, dude, that's so dope. I'm like, really? It took me like 5 minutes. Like it's just a loop, and then I'll have another beat that took me like 5 hours. Like I created this for you. This is my masterpiece. Like, man, 15 seconds done. Yeah. That's what music is. It's vibe, Let's Vibe TV. There you go. There's your plug.
It's a vibe. Let's Vibe TV. We in the building with Wyshmaster, turning the fuck up.
All right.
Shout out Milk. Shout out Ashley Phoenix. I see y'all in the building. Shout out Josh May. I see y'all. We're in conversation though.
Oh yeah. So, that link too. That it's wyshmasterbeats.com/challenge. I forgot to say that. If anybody who wants to join, it's wyshmasterbeats.com/challenge for anybody who wants to join. It's going on till
I'm gonna add it to the
I always
comments.
forget to say it. Like I talk about something and people are like, "Damn, wish you could even tell us how to join this shit."
Hold on. I'm gonna drop it in the comments. I know a lot of y'all are MCs. Omar, if you don't enter this motherfucking thing, I'll be pissed the fuck off. You got bars, and all you gotta do is freestyle it. And it's gonna be he's the best freestyler I've ever heard. So
I can't wait to hear his. Hopefully, he joins.
yeah, his entry. You said it's wishmaster.com.
Beats.com, wishmasterbeats.com, /challenge.
For sure. And it is in the comment section right now, y'all. I just dropped the link in the comments for y'all. Let me put the www dot because it's acting like you can't click it. I was gonna say too, you were nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, for I'm gonna boat. Isn't that some shit? But you know what's funny is I knew it wasn't going to win because they put it against like because it's for the best rap song collaboration, which is it's cool. But I'm like, how it was going against Eminem and Rihanna and Paris Hilton and Kanye West. I'm like, there's no way. Now if you put it in the comedy section,
Right?
they probably would have won. So I was like, why the hell? I mean, it's cool that it got nominated for that category, but I'm like, man, why didn't you put it in the comedy section?
That's so funny that you get to say Grammy nominated.
Right.
Because of, bro, life is a joke, a beautiful joke.
Right.
But like
And I say it to like because I just for notoriety and stuff, but I hate when I hate saying it like when it's a Grammy nominated multi-platinum producer Wishmaster, like people
they
know
put the shit everywhere.
I know, but I do it because it's like it helps.
Happy birthday, AK Slime. Happy birthday, AK Slime. What up? Happy birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday. Wish
I produced that one.
You just got bars out of Wishmaster for your birthday. So take that as a gift. I was gonna cash app you. Now I don't got to.
That's funny.
So, oh man, it's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, man. This is awesome. I love interviews like this, man, because we're just talking about like current stuff and fun things, and it's not too serious, you know.
The vibes are high, yo. It's supposed to feel like, yo, it's the whole point, right? And a lot of people be like, oh, like that, you know, like, oh, you be picky, be this, be that. And it's like, yo, the whole thing is to humanize everybody because there's no humanity right now.
No.
From the audience to the artist. We can have a conversation and dialogue. They get to play a part of it. And that's more important.
Exactly.
Than anything, and just having fun and understanding, and still like we really get to see who you are and your perspective, and when you put in the work that you have for the artists to get their flowers, who have the guests to really get their flowers, bro. Somebody said they got 200 beats.
Yeah,
40,
that's crazy.
Yeah, 200 there, 40 for tech. You know, emails all day. You know, like 5 emails a day.
I get what you're saying. He's saying I work hard. Like I don't have people that work for me. Everything I do is all me. Mostly even the graphic work I do is all me. Because
wow,
like you said, if you don't, an artist usually turns into a producer because they don't have beats, right? That was me. I'm like, I don't want to be hire every single person. It's hard to find somebody that hustles as hard as I do. So I'm like, just do it yourself. And eventually I might have to branch out and find somebody to help me with some of these things. But I answer every single one of my own emails. I write my own emails. I do my graphics. I do my packs. Everything's done all by me. So I do work my ass off.
Well, and that's what is underestimated. Like, bro, if you learn how to do things on your own, it makes you an asset. No rapper wants more rappers on their squad.
And think about this: if you teach yourself how to do these things, and let's say the artistry things maybe takes a backseat, or you're not making income, you can take one of those other skills and go do it for somebody else, do their graphics, do their engineering, do their beats or whatever, and then use that to pay for your craft. Then you can like, all right, now I'm gonna get a better mic, and now I'm getting better skills and all that stuff. So.
And y'all got to witness that on the Kanye documentary. When you seen him, invite his label to his video release. Y'all
Exactly.
niggas need to get like that. That's
Right.
what else are we talking about, yo? Yo, if you don't got the heart like that, this ain't for you.
Exactly.
But it's been an honor and a privilege having you on here.
Yeah, same, man. But
What have you been listening to lately, real quick?
what have I been listening to? Ozzy Osbourne's new album.
I've been trying to get some feedback on it. You fuck with it.
So I like, yeah, I think it's really, it's almost, because I thought he was done. I thought his last album was like, all right, I'm out of here, which had some really cool shit on it too. But this one, it's like almost like reborn. I'm sure he's getting some help, probably, tuning and different things. But he just has such a cool voice, and like there's a lot of like features on here, guitar work, and it just has that Ozzy feel. You know what I mean? That old school Ozzy stuff.
I gotta listen to it for sure. I've been listening to Jesse Reyes' new album.
I haven't heard it yet. It was good.
Yeah, it's fire. And I've been listening to John Legends a little bit too. I've been listening to a lot of Elvis. Oh, I watched that movie.
It was dope, dude. I did not know he was like got screwed that bad, dude. I mean, I knew he went through some crap. I didn't know he was like being drugged and.
Bro, that Colonel is.
Yeah.
Woo!
Damn,
Bro,
that's the ultimate right there, man.
My wife be making fun of me because I've just been watching YouTube, but I can't get over Colonel Parker. So I've just and like Elvis's whole story. So I've just been like on YouTube endlessly delving into it, and just like his music is underrated, and it's crazy for him to kind of get the Eminem treatment as far as from Black culture when those songs had soul.
Exactly. Yeah, I've been also listening to some Easy was one of my favorites, back then. So I've been going back and listening to some old Easy. Give me that nut. Dude, yeah. I love Easy, man.
For sure. And DJ Quick, all that shit.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick, somebody who's on DOC. Give DOC.
Oh, yeah, DOC. I even like his changing everything, dude. I love the album he made.
No, I couldn't. I can't get that.
The beats, Dr. Dre's beats on those are so crazy. Like, and it catered to his voice. You know what I mean? That's what I loved about it. But I know what you're saying. It was hard to go.
Like hearing him before, bro. Yeah. And he was literally one of the best rappers. Like that shit still stands today, and it sucks that he felt like he had what happened to him so quick that I never even got a chance to understand how great those projects were and how much of his
music. Yeah, for Cube and stuff. No, not for Cube, for Dre and stuff.
For sure. Well, all right, my guy. I don't want to take up any more of your precious time.
So I keep talking, man. I can do this all day, but I appreciate you having me on here.
Yeah, no, it's been a blessing. I love y'all in the audience. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm gonna drop a better link. I'm sorry it doesn't work right now. DM me a better link to drop in the comment section. And I'll send you the YouTube link.
Cool.
To the interview. So all right, let's go. I love y'all. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll be with Els